This used to be a lake.
Millions in Syria and Iraq are grappling with severe water shortages as the once mighty Euphrates River, the region's longest, has astonishingly dried up. This breaking news from the Middle East has left scientists and historians stunned. For millennia, the Euphrates flowed through ancient lands, but now its dry riverbed has begun to reveal secrets long buried beneath its waters. Join us as we delve into this unprecedented event, exploring the newly exposed riverbed and uncovering the hidden history of the Euphrates. What secrets has this ancient river kept buried for so long? We are Jesus Eternal Aura. In today's video, you will have appropriate answers to all the questions above. Before you know what happened, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and click the bell icon for all the latest updates.
A team of archaeologists discovered a 3,400-year-old city which was once located on the Tigris River.
The Euphrates River has been an integral part of human history for thousands of years. Flowing through modern-day Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, it has supported ancient civilizations and served as a lifeline for many communities. This river, along with the Tigris, cradled the birthplace of human civilization in an area known as Mesopotamia. In ancient times, the Euphrates was more than just a source of water. It was a highway for trade and communication. Its fertile banks allowed for the growth of crops, which supported the rise of some of the world's earliest cities and empires, such as the Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. These civilizations built impressive structures, developed writing systems, and made significant advances in science and mathematics, all thanks to the resources provided by the Euphrates River. However, recent reports have confirmed that this historic river is experiencing a dramatic reduction in its water levels. Several factors contribute to this alarming situation. Climate change has led to higher temperatures and lower rainfall in the region, reducing the river's flow. Additionally, the construction of dams and extensive irrigation projects in Turkey, Syria, and Iraq has significantly diverted water from the river, decreasing its volume further. The combination of these factors has led to parts of the Euphrates drying up completely. The Euphrates River has played a vital role in human history stretching back thousands of years. This river, along with the Tigris, flows through the region known as Mesopotamia, which means land between rivers. Mesopotamia is often called the cradle of civilization because it is where some of the world's earliest and most influential cultures developed. One of the first civilizations to rise along the banks of the Euphrates was the Sumerians around 4500 BCE. The Sumerians are known for creating the first cities in human history, such as Uruk, Ur, and Eridu. These cities were remarkable for their advanced architecture, including ziggurats, which were massive temple complexes that towered over the landscape. The Sumerians also developed one of the earliest writing systems, cuneiform, which they used to record everything from administrative documents to epic literature like the Epic of Gilgamesh. After the Sumerians came the Akkadians, who founded the Akkadian Empire around 2334 BCE under the rule of Sargon the Great. This was the world's first empire, stretching from the Mediterranean Sea to the Persian Gulf. The Akkadians adopted much of Sumerian culture and language, further spreading these early advancements. Following the Akkadians, the Babylonians rose to power around 1894 BCE. Babylon, their capital city, became one of the most famous cities in ancient history. Under the rule of King Hammurabi, 1792-1750 BCE, the Babylonians created the Code of Hammurabi, one of the earliest and most complete written legal codes. This code laid the foundation for law and justice in many cultures that followed. The Assyrians, another powerful civilization, thrived along the upper Euphrates around 2500 BCE, and later expanded to form the Assyrian Empire, 911-609 BCE. They are known for their military prowess and architectural achievements, including the grand city of Nineveh. The Assyrians also created a vast library with thousands of clay tablets that provide valuable insights into ancient Mesopotamian life and knowledge. The civilizations along the Euphrates River made numerous contributions to human progress. They were among the first to practice large-scale agriculture, thanks to the river's fertile floodplains. The Sumerians developed irrigation systems to control the water flow, which allowed them to grow surplus crops and support large populations. This agricultural abundance enabled the rise of cities and complex societies. Writing and record-keeping were other significant advancements. The invention of cuneiform by the Sumerians allowed them to keep detailed records of transactions, laws, and literature. This writing system was later adopted and adapted by the Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians, preserving their cultures and histories for future generations. Mathematics and astronomy also flourished in Mesopotamia. The Babylonians developed a base 60 number system, which is why we have 60 seconds in a minute and 360 degrees in a circle. They made significant advancements in astronomy, accurately tracking the movements of planets and stars, which helped them develop early calendars and predict celestial events. The Euphrates River held deep cultural and religious significance for the people of Mesopotamia. Many of their myths and legends centered around the river and its life-giving properties. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest known literary works, the Euphrates plays a crucial role in the adventures of its hero, Gilgamesh. The river was also central to their religious practices. Temples and ziggurats built along its banks served as places of worship and community gatherings. The Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians believed that their gods lived in these temples, and they made offerings and performed rituals to honor them. Several key historical events unfolded along the Euphrates River. Around 539 BCE, the Persian king Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon, marking the end of the Babylonian Empire and the rise of the Persian Empire. This event had a profound impact on the region's culture and politics. In 331 BCE, Alexander the Great defeated the Persian Empire at the Battle of Gaugamela near the Euphrates, further changing the course of history. His conquests spread Greek culture throughout the region, blending it with local traditions in a period known as the Hellenistic era. One of the primary reasons for the Euphrates River drying up is climate change. Over the past few decades, higher temperatures and lower rainfall have significantly reduced the river's flow. This has been exacerbated by the construction of dams and extensive irrigation projects in Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, which have diverted large amounts of water from the river. As a result, parts of the Euphrates have dried up completely, posing a severe threat to the communities and ecosystems that depend on it. The drying up of the Euphrates River is not just an environmental issue, it also has profound social and cultural implications. For thousands of years, the river has been a source of life and inspiration for the people of the region. Its decline threatens the cultural heritage and historical significance of Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization. The Euphrates River has been a crucial part of human history for millennia, supporting ancient civilizations and enabling significant advancements in agriculture, writing, science, and culture. The recent reduction in its water levels due to climate change and human activities is alarming and highlights the need for urgent action to preserve this vital resource. The story of the Euphrates is a reminder of the delicate balance between nature and human civilization and the importance of protecting our natural heritage for future generations. The global climate has been changing due to the increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, leading to higher temperatures and altered weather patterns worldwide. In the Middle East, where the Euphrates flows, these changes have caused hotter and drier conditions. Higher temperatures increase the rate of evaporation, meaning that more water from the river is lost to the atmosphere. Additionally, reduced rainfall in the region has led to lower water levels in the river. Without enough rain to replenish it, the Euphrates cannot maintain its usual flow. Scientific studies show that rainfall in the Middle East has decreased significantly over the past century, contributing to the river's decline. Another significant factor in the drying of the Euphrates is the construction of dams. Countries along the river, particularly Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, have built numerous dams to harness the river's water for electricity, irrigation, and drinking water. While these dams provide essential resources for the countries, they also reduce the amount of water flowing downstream. In Turkey, the Southeastern Anatolia Project, GAP, includes the construction of 22 dams on the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. These dams have greatly reduced the water flow into Syria and Iraq. Similarly, Syria has built several dams on the Euphrates to meet its water needs, further reducing the river's flow into Iraq. As a result, by the time the river reaches Iraq, its water levels are much lower than before. Water management practices in the region also play a role in the drying of the Euphrates. Over the years, countries along the river have extracted large amounts of water for agriculture, industry, and domestic use. Irrigation practices, in particular, consume a significant portion of the river's water. Traditional irrigation methods, such as flood irrigation, are inefficient and lead to a lot of water wastage. Modern techniques like drip irrigation use water more efficiently but are not widely implemented in the region. The high demand for water, combined with inefficient usage, has further depleted the river's resources. Recent scientific data and reports confirm the drastic reduction in the Euphrates River's water flow. Studies conducted by various organizations, including the United Nations and local environmental agencies, show that the river's flow has decreased by more than 60% over the past few decades. Satellite imagery and on-the-ground measurements indicate that many parts of the river have completely dried up. For instance, in Iraq, sections of the Euphrates that once supported thriving communities are now barren and cracked. The reduced water levels have also affected the river's tributaries, which feed into the main river. Many communities along the Euphrates rely on the river for irrigation. As the water levels drop, farmers struggle to grow crops, leading to reduced agricultural productivity. This decline in farming impacts food security and the livelihoods of thousands of people who depend on agriculture. The reduction in water flow affects not just agriculture, but also other sectors like fishing and tourism. With fewer fish in the river, local fishermen lose their source of income. Additionally, the scenic beauty of the river, which once attracted tourists, is diminishing, affecting the tourism industry. As the river dries up, some communities are forced to move in search of water and better living conditions. This displacement creates social and economic challenges, including the need for new infrastructure, housing, and resources to support the relocated populations. The lack of clean water has severe health implications. People rely on the Euphrates for drinking water, and as the river dries up, they face water scarcity and contamination. This leads to increased instances of waterborne diseases and poor sanitation conditions, particularly in rural areas. As the Euphrates River dried up, an astonishing discovery was made in its riverbed. What lay hidden beneath the water for thousands of years started to emerge, revealing a treasure trove of ancient artifacts and structures. This monumental find has captured the attention of archaeologists and historians worldwide, offering new insights into the civilizations that once thrived along this historic river. When the river began to recede, local villagers noticed unusual objects appearing on the dried-up riverbed. They found pieces of pottery, old tools, and remnants of buildings. Curious and excited, they reported these findings to local authorities, who quickly contacted archaeologists to investigate further. An archaeological team was assembled to explore the site, and as they began their work, the initial findings exceeded all expectations. the team uncovered numerous artifacts that hinted at the presence of a previously unknown ancient settlement. The excitement among the archaeologists was palpable. They realized they were on the brink of uncovering a significant piece of history. The lead archaeologist, Dr. Ahmed Rahman, couldn't believe what they were finding. "This is a once-in-a-lifetime discovery," he said. "The sheer number and variety of artifacts suggest we are looking at a major historical site. It's like opening a time capsule from thousands of years ago." The team worked tirelessly, meticulously excavating the site. Every day brought new discoveries, each adding to the puzzle of understanding the ancient civilization that once lived there. The researchers felt a mix of excitement and responsibility, knowing that their work could change our understanding of history. The first artifacts to emerge were pieces of pottery and various tools. The pottery was intricately designed with patterns and symbols that suggested a rich cultural heritage. Some pieces were simple and utilitarian, used for everyday purposes, while others were more ornate, possibly used in rituals or as status symbols. The tools included stone and metal implements like knives, hammers, and sickles, indicating advanced craftsmanship. As the excavation continued, the team discovered remnants of buildings and structures. These included foundations of homes, public buildings, and what appeared to be a marketplace. The layout of the settlement suggested a well-organized community with a complex social structure. The discovery of ancient writings and inscriptions further added to the significance of the site. These texts provided valuable insights into the daily lives, beliefs, and practices of the people who once lived along the Euphrates. This unprecedented find has opened a new chapter in the history of the Euphrates River. It highlights the river's importance not only as a source of water, but also as a cradle of human civilization. The drying of the Euphrates, while a cause for concern, has inadvertently unveiled a hidden history, offering a unique opportunity to learn more about our ancient past. As scientists and archaeologists continue to explore the newly exposed riverbed, we can expect more discoveries that will enrich our understanding of the civilizations that thrived along this historic river. Among the artifacts were pieces of jewelry made from gold, silver, and precious stones. These items included necklaces, bracelets, and rings, showcasing the artistic skills of the ancient craftsmen. The discovery of these personal items provided a glimpse into the fashion and social status of the people who lived there. Additionally, small figurines and amulets were found, suggesting religious or spiritual practices. As they dug deeper, the team uncovered the foundations of buildings. These structures included homes, workshops, and public buildings. The layout of the buildings suggested a well-organized settlement with planned streets and communal areas. The walls of some structures still had remnants of decorative frescoes, indicating that the inhabitants had an appreciation for art and beauty. The most remarkable discovery was the remains of what appeared to be a lost city. The city's layout included wide streets, large public squares, and complex irrigation systems, showing advanced urban planning. The discovery of this city could significantly impact our understanding of ancient Mesopotamian civilization. Researchers speculated that this city might have been a significant trading hub or a cultural center, given its strategic location along the Euphrates. Among the artifacts, the team found clay tablets with cuneiform inscriptions. These tablets are invaluable for understanding the language, administration, and daily life of the ancient inhabitants. The inscriptions included records of trade transactions, legal documents, and possibly even literary works. Deciphering these texts could provide detailed insights into the governance, economy, and culture of the civilization. The team also uncovered items related to religious practices, such as altars, statues of deities, and ceremonial objects. These findings suggest that religion played a central role in the lives of the ancient people. The statues and altars were often found in specific areas of the city, indicating designated places of worship and community gatherings. The Euphrates River holds significant importance in various religious texts, including the Bible. Its mention in these ancient scriptures adds a layer of mystery and prophecy to its current state. Let's explore the Euphrates River's significance in the Bible, some specific references, and how these ancient prophecies might connect to the recent discovery of the dried riverbed. The Euphrates River is one of the 4 rivers mentioned in the book of Genesis, the first book of the Bible. According to Genesis 2:10-14, the Euphrates, along with the Tigris, Pishon, and Gihon, flowed out of the Garden of Eden. This makes the Euphrates not only a geographical landmark, but also a symbol of divine creation and the beginning of human civilization. In the Bible, the Euphrates often symbolizes boundaries and borders. For instance, God promised Abraham that his descendants would inherit the land from the Nile to the Euphrates, Genesis 15:18. This made the river a significant marker in the biblical narrative of the Promised Land. One of the most intriguing references to the Euphrates River in the Bible is found in the book of Revelation. Revelation 16:12 states, "The 6th angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare the way for the kings from the east." This verse is part of a series of prophecies about the end times, where various calamities and signs signify the approaching final judgment. This particular prophecy about the Euphrates drying up has fascinated theologians and scholars for centuries. It is seen as a precursor to significant events that will unfold in the future, leading to the ultimate battle between good and evil. There are various interpretations of the biblical prophecies concerning the Euphrates River. Some believe these prophecies are metaphorical, symbolizing the removal of barriers and the opening of pathways for major geopolitical changes. Others take a more literal approach, viewing the drying up of the Euphrates as a sign of imminent apocalyptic events. The recent drying of the Euphrates River has reignited interest in these prophecies. Some see it as a direct fulfillment of the biblical prophecy, suggesting that we are living in the end times. They point to the significant reduction in the river's water levels as evidence that the ancient scriptures are coming true. The recent discovery of ancient artifacts and structures in the dried-up Euphrates riverbed has added a new dimension to these interpretations. Could this discovery be a fulfillment of ancient prophecies? The connection between the drying of the Euphrates and the uncovering of a lost civilization raises questions about the broader implications of these events. Some religious scholars suggest that the revelation of these ancient secrets could be part of the prophetic narrative. They believe that the exposure of hidden knowledge and the resurfacing of long-lost cities might signal the unfolding of biblical prophecies. While these interpretations are intriguing, it's essential to approach them with an open mind. The drying of the Euphrates and the subsequent discoveries can be seen from various perspectives, both religious and scientific. From a scientific standpoint, the drying of the Euphrates is primarily due to climate change, dam construction, and regional water management practices. These factors have led to reduced water flow, which in turn has exposed parts of the riverbed that were previously submerged. The discovery of artifacts and structures is a natural consequence of these environmental changes, offering valuable insights into the region's history. From a religious perspective, the timing of these events and their alignment with biblical prophecies is seen as more than just a coincidence for many believers. The drying of the Euphrates and the archaeological findings may be viewed as part of a divine plan, unfolding in accordance with ancient scriptures. Whether seen through the lens of faith or science, the current state of the Euphrates River and the discoveries made in its dried-up riverbed continue to captivate the world, blending history, prophecy, and environmental science in a profound narrative. For believers, this underscores the idea that ancient scriptures hold timeless truths and that current events are part of a divine plan. The rediscovery of lost cities and artifacts might be seen as a sign of God's unfolding purpose, reminding us of the historical significance of the Euphrates River. Some interpret these findings as a fulfillment of ancient prophecies, while others view them as natural outcomes of environmental changes. Regardless, these events highlight the enduring importance of the Euphrates River in both history and religion. Balancing these perspectives, it is evident that the drying of the Euphrates and the archaeological discoveries are significant events with multiple layers of meaning. Whether viewed through the lens of science or faith, they provide a unique opportunity to explore the intersection of history, prophecy, and contemporary events. As researchers continue to study the uncovered artifacts and structures, they will likely shed more light on the ancient civilizations that once thrived along the Euphrates. This, in turn, will enrich our understanding of human history and the cultural heritage of the region. The Bible provides numerous prophecies that foretell significant events, including the coming of Jesus Christ. For instance, Deuteronomy 18:15-18, Psalms 45, and Psalms 110 predict the arrival of Jesus on earth as a human. The prophetic literature in the Bible often shares common characteristics, particularly the apocalyptic style found in both the Book of Daniel and the Book of Revelation. These books are written in a highly symbolic language and reflect a belief in the imminent end of the world. Apocalyptic writing became particularly prominent in the period between the Old and New Testaments. While many apocalyptic texts from that era are not considered divinely inspired, the inclusion of Daniel and Revelation in the Bible confirms their authenticity and divine inspiration. Critics sometimes argue that the Book of Daniel was written after the events it describes, but the Bible often demonstrates God's ability to reveal future events through his prophets. Amos 3:7 states, "Surely the Lord God does nothing unless he reveals his secret to his servants the prophets." Daniel himself attributes his prophecies to God, as seen in several passages: Daniel 2:19, 2:21-23, 2:28, 5:14, 7:15-16, 8:1-6, 9:21-22, and 10:1-14. This attribution emphasizes that Daniel did not produce these visions from his own imagination. They were revelations from God. In Isaiah 46:9-10, God declares, "For I am God, and there is no other. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure." Similarly, the Book of Revelation is introduced as a direct prophecy from God. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave him to show his servants, things which must shortly take place. And he sent and signified it by his angel to his servant John. Revelation 1:1. The divine origin of these prophecies assures their truthfulness, as God, who cannot lie, Titus 1:2, inspired them. One notable aspect of the Book of Daniel is its non-Israelite setting. While most of the Old Testament focuses on God's chosen nation, Israel, Daniel's context is the Babylonian Empire. The northern kingdom of Israel had been conquered by the Assyrians over a century earlier, and now the southern kingdom of Judah had fallen to the Babylonians. The Babylonians likely considered themselves and their God superior to the Israelites and their God. However, through Daniel, God demonstrated his superiority. Even King Nebuchadnezzar acknowledged this, referring to Daniel's God as the God of gods, the Lord of kings, Daniel 2:47. This was a powerful testimony to the Jews in captivity, who had been exiled for their disobedience to God. The Book of Daniel also shifts the focus from Israel's immediate history to a broader view of world-ruling empires. It contains visions given to both King Nebuchadnezzar and Daniel that outline a succession of 4 major empires, culminating in the establishment of God's kingdom. This prophetic overview is unparalleled in the Old Testament. According to the Expositor's Bible commentary, Daniel is referenced more in New Testament prophecy than any other Old Testament book and contains more fulfilled prophecies than any other biblical book. The New Testament book of Revelation builds on Daniel's prophecies. It predicts the final resurgence of the Fourth World ruling empire, described by Daniel, and expands on the coming kingdom of God, which will also be a world-ruling empire. Revelation details the events leading up to Christ's return and the establishment of God's kingdom on earth. It also provides more extensive information on God's judgment and the resurrection of the dead, a concept briefly mentioned in Daniel 12:2. Jesus himself authenticated the book of Daniel by referring to it in one of his most famous prophecies. In Matthew 24:15, Jesus speaks about the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet. This reference underscores the significance of Daniel's prophecies in understanding end-time events. Despite its prophetic nature, the book of Daniel is historically part of the writings section of the Old Testament. Daniel was a young, intelligent Jew living in Jerusalem during the late 600s BC. During this period, the Babylonian Empire, also known as the Chaldean Empire, was rising to power under King Nebuchadnezzar. The Babylonian army invaded Judah between 607 and 605 BC, leading to the exile of many Jews, including Daniel. In summary, the book of Daniel is a crucial part of biblical prophecy, providing extensive insights into world-ruling empires and God's ultimate plan for his kingdom. It complements the book of Revelation, which expands on Daniel's visions and provides a detailed account of the events leading to the establishment of God's eternal kingdom. Both books, written in an apocalyptic style, are divinely inspired and confirm the truth of God's prophecies. Daniel's non-Israelite setting and his detailed prophecies highlight God's sovereignty over all nations and his ability to reveal future events through his chosen prophets. The book of Daniel contains rich prophetic literature and is significant for understanding the foretelling of events in biblical history. Among the numerous prophecies, one of the most discussed is found in Daniel 9, which provides a detailed timeline. This chapter, along with others, helps to situate historical events and prophecies about the future. Daniel was among the many Jews, including children of prominent Jewish families, taken to Babylon as prisoners, along with his 3 friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, better known by their Babylonian names, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Daniel was captured during the Babylonian conquest of Judah around 605 BC, Daniel 1:1. Daniel's natural abilities, coupled with divine assistance, quickly elevated him within the Babylonian government. The God of Israel, whom Daniel faithfully served, endowed him with the ability to interpret dreams and granted him several visions with their meanings. Shortly after Daniel began serving King Nebuchadnezzar, the king had a disturbing dream that none of his magicians, astrologers, or sorcerers could interpret. In their frustration and fear, they declared, "There is no other who can tell it to the king except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh." Daniel 2:11. King Nebuchadnezzar, enraged by their inability, ordered the execution of all his wise men, including Daniel and his friends. When Daniel learned of the decree, he requested an audience with the king, promising to reveal the dream and its interpretation. His request was granted, and Daniel, with his friends, earnestly sought God's mercy and wisdom. God revealed the dream and its meaning to Daniel in a vision, Daniel 2:19. Appearing before King Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel declared, "There is a God in heaven who reveals secrets," and proceeded to recount and interpret the king's dream. Nebuchadnezzar had seen a magnificent statue with a head of gold, chest and arms of silver, belly and thighs of bronze, legs of iron, and feet partly of iron and partly of clay. A supernatural stone, cut out without hands, struck the statue's feet, shattering the entire structure, which was then blown away like chaff. The stone grew into a mountain that filled the whole earth. Daniel 2:31-35. Daniel explained that the statue represented 4 successive world empires. The head of gold symbolized Nebuchadnezzar's Babylonian Empire. Following Babylon, an inferior kingdom, the chest and arms of silver, would arise, then a third kingdom of bronze, and finally, a fourth kingdom, as strong as iron, which would crush all others. This last empire would eventually be divided, symbolized by the feet of iron and clay, and its ultimate destruction would coincide with the establishment of God's eternal kingdom, represented by the stone, Daniel 2:36-45. While the names of the kingdoms were not initially revealed, later visions provided more details. In Daniel 7, another vision described 4 beasts, symbolizing 4 empires. The first beast resembled a lion, the second a bear, the third a leopard, and the fourth was a terrifying beast with iron teeth and 10 horns. Daniel 7:1-7. These visions further confirmed the succession of empires and the eventual establishment of God's kingdom. Jesus himself referred to these prophecies, underscoring their significance. In Matthew 24:15, he mentioned the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, linking Daniel's visions to end-time events. After interpreting the dream, Daniel was appointed chief administrator over all the wise men of Babylon. This position allowed him to influence the kingdom and bear witness to the power and sovereignty of the God of Israel. The prophecies in the book of Daniel not only reveal the rise and fall of empires, but also highlight God's control over history and his ultimate plan for an eternal kingdom. The prophetic insights provided in Daniel complement those in the New Testament, especially in the book of Revelation. Together, these books offer a comprehensive picture of God's plan for humanity, the rise and fall of earthly kingdoms, and the establishment of his everlasting kingdom. The book of Daniel is a cornerstone of biblical prophecy, providing detailed visions of future events and the coming of God's kingdom. Daniel's faithfulness, coupled with divine revelation, offers a powerful testimony to God's sovereignty and his plans for the world. The prophecies in Daniel, echoed and expanded upon in Revelation, assure believers of the ultimate victory of God's kingdom over all earthly powers. This prophecy from Daniel emphasizes the rise of 4 great earthly kingdoms. Nebuchadnezzar's dream in Daniel 2, echoed in Daniel 7, reveals these kingdoms. The second kingdom is identified as the kings of Media and Persia, while the third kingdom is Greece, Daniel 8:20-21. The fourth kingdom is described with 10 horns representing 10 kings, symbolizing 10 revivals of the Roman Empire, Daniel 7:24. So far, 9 revivals have occurred, with 1 more yet to come. Historical events confirm the accuracy of these prophecies. The Babylonian Empire, 625-539 BC, was followed by the Medo-Persian Empire, 538-330 BC, which fell to the Greco-Macedonian Empire under Alexander the Great. Alexander's empire was swiftly divided among his 4 generals, Daniel 8:14. The Roman Empire, symbolized by iron, emerged in 31 BC, dominating until AD 476. It was known for its military prowess and brutality, absorbing previous kingdoms. The Roman Empire split into Western Rome and Eastern Constantinople divisions around AD 330, matching the two legs of Nebuchadnezzar's statue. The prophecies in Daniel predict a final revival of the Roman Empire, symbolized by the 10 toes, representing 10 kings who will receive power briefly before the kingdom of God is established. Revelation 17:12. This union of 10 kingdoms, likely emerging from the European Union, will ultimately crumble due to the weak bond between iron and clay. The accuracy of these prophecies, spanning centuries, demonstrates divine inspiration. Daniel's predictions, made around 600 BC, accurately foresaw the development of these kingdoms. God's promise to Israel, conditional on their obedience, was to elevate them above all nations. Deuteronomy 28:1, Genesis 26:4, 48:4. However, disobedience led to their captivity. Deuteronomy 28:15, 41. Israel fell to the Assyrians, and Judah to Nebuchadnezzar, fulfilling God's warnings. The prophecies revealed to Nebuchadnezzar and Daniel about the world's major kingdoms have unfolded precisely as predicted, also foretelling the coming kingdom of God. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon from 604–561 BC, is a significant biblical figure, notorious for his conquests and for destroying the temple in Jerusalem. Despite his enmity towards the Jews, Nebuchadnezzar issued an edict recorded in Daniel 4, making him the only heathen monarch extensively quoted in the Bible. His decree holds significant importance, demonstrating God's influence even over pagan rulers. This historical footnote highlights the enduring impact of God's revelations through Daniel and the ultimate fulfillment of his divine plan. The Euphrates River, once a thriving watercourse vital for ancient civilizations, is now drying up, exposing mysterious structures and artifacts. Among these is a series of tunnels believed to lead to dungeons, where, according to biblical prophecy, fallen angels were kept in captivity. This aligns with Revelation 9:14–15, which foretells the release of angels bound at the Euphrates to wreak havoc on humankind. The eerie noises reported from these tunnels further substantiate the ancient prophecies, suggesting they are more than mere myths. Amidst these revelations, archaeologists have made another astonishing discovery: the lost tomb of Gilgamesh. Previously thought to be a figure of folklore, Gilgamesh's existence is now confirmed by tangible evidence. Gilgamesh, a legendary hero of Mesopotamian mythology and the protagonist of one of the oldest known works of literature, the Epic of Gilgamesh, ruled the ancient city of Uruk around 2600 BC. Gilgamesh was a demigod, the son of a king and a goddess, endowed with extraordinary strength and intelligence. However, his power led to tyranny, prompting the gods to create Enkidu, a wild man meant to challenge him. Instead of becoming adversaries, Gilgamesh and Enkidu became close friends, embarking on numerous adventures, including their famous battle with Humbaba, the monstrous guardian of the cedar forest. This forest was a sacred portal between the earthly realm and the gods. Their victory over Humbaba brought them fame, but also divine retribution. The gods sent various beasts to challenge them, and Ishtar, the goddess of love and fertility, made advances toward Gilgamesh. Rejected, she sent the bull of heaven to punish him, but Gilgamesh and Enkidu killed the beast. Enkidu's subsequent death, a punishment from the gods, plunged Gilgamesh into grief and fear of his own mortality. Haunted by the inevitability of death, Gilgamesh embarked on a quest for immortality. His journey took him across stormy seas, treacherous mountains, and through various trials. He sought the counsel of Siduri, a tavern keeper, who tried to make him understand that only the gods possess eternal life. Undeterred, Gilgamesh continued his quest and found Utnapishtim, the only man granted eternal life by the gods. Utnapishtim challenged Gilgamesh to stay awake for 6 days and 7 nights, a task he failed. Pitying him, Utnapishtim gave him a plant that could make him young again. However, on his journey back to Uruk, a snake stole the plant while Gilgamesh bathed, leading to the belief that the gods sent the snake to prevent him from attaining immortality. This loss devastated Gilgamesh, making him realize that all humans must face death. The Epic of Gilgamesh is significant as it is the first written legend in human history, paving the way for other legendary heroes. Written in Akkadian, the story has been discovered in various versions, the best preserved on 12 clay tablets found in the library of King Ashurbanipal in Nineveh. These tablets, over 3,600 years old, provide the most solid proof of the epic until the recent discovery of Gilgamesh's tomb under the Euphrates River. According to legend, Gilgamesh died of old age and was buried under the Euphrates River, which parted to allow his burial and then flowed back to cover the site. The river's drying has now exposed the riverbed, revealing the tomb that was hidden for millennia. This discovery matches the historical account of his death and is a monumental find for archaeologists. The implications of finding Gilgamesh's tomb are profound, challenging our understanding of history and mythology. It not only corroborates the epic, but also connects to biblical prophecies, further intertwining ancient texts with modern discoveries. The Euphrates River, a symbol of life and civilization, now serves as a reminder of humanity's impact on the environment and the enduring legacy of ancient stories and prophecies. As the river continues to dry, it exposes more of its secrets, urging us to reflect on our stewardship of the earth and the unfolding of events that may be beyond our control. The drying Euphrates, once a cradle of civilization, now stands as both a cautionary tale and a beacon for understanding our past, present, and future. This discovery not only holds historical significance, but also promises to provide valuable cultural artifacts, and possibly even the remains of Gilgamesh himself. These findings could offer a wealth of information about the era and the civilization in which he lived. Archaeologists are keen to investigate the tomb thoroughly, analyzing any inscriptions, funeral rituals, and artifacts to build a comprehensive understanding of Gilgamesh's time. Verification of the tomb's authenticity is crucial and involves meticulous processes such as carbon dating and historical contextualization. These efforts are already underway, bringing us closer than ever to confirming if this tomb truly belongs to Gilgamesh. If authenticated, it could unveil ancient truths and secrets that have eluded humanity for millennia. This potential rewriting of history invites us to reconsider other legends and myths. If Gilgamesh's existence is proven, it opens the possibility that other stories dismissed as myths may also be rooted in reality. It suggests that there might be overlooked evidence supporting the existence of other mythical beings and creatures. The discovery of Gilgamesh's tomb not only enriches our historical knowledge, but also challenges us to revisit and reassess ancient narratives. It underscores the importance of preserving and studying our environment, as natural changes can reveal hidden facets of our past. As we uncover more about Gilgamesh and his era, we gain deeper insights into the origins of civilization and the enduring impact of legendary figures on human history. But it not end there. The concept of demons beneath the river refers to Satan and the fallen angels. According to Scripture, God did not spare the angels that sinned, but cast them into hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to await judgment. This imagery suggests that the river is like a prison, a place of severe punishment before the final judgment. Jeremiah 14:46 and 51 indicate that God's great wrath will be connected to the Euphrates River, which is the eastern boundary of the Promised Land. These angels are bound beneath the Euphrates River. Although they are in hell, they still answer to God. The Bible does not contradict itself, and it suggests there are two classes of fallen angels: those that roam the earth freely, attacking and assaulting our faith, and those bound in chains of darkness, awaiting judgment. In Revelation 9, it is my belief that the demonic army of locusts, 200 million strong, will primarily consist of this group currently held in the abyss. These fallen angels, now in hell, will swarm the earth and terrorize it. Men will try to commit suicide, but God will not allow it. The bite and sting of these demons will be like that of a scorpion, but far worse as they come from hell. This explains why these demons are present in that specific place, loitering and waiting. Once the river dries up, these fallen angels may reveal themselves, bringing fear to humans. Throughout his ministry, Jesus constantly battled fallen angels and demonic spirits. As Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Demonic activity surrounds us daily, affecting every aspect of our lives. This is our constant struggle, fighting these oppressive and tempting spirits. However, when we are weak, He is strong, and God's grace is sufficient. Praise God for His enduring strength and support.
Jordan River's dry up is happening? Now, if Jesus were to immerse himself in the Jordan River, he might find it impossible. This once mighty biblical waterway has been reduced to a mere trickle, resembling more a stagnant sludge than the revered lifeline it once was. Back in the early 1960s, the river flowed with vigor, transporting 1.3 billion cubic meters of fresh water annually from the Sea of Galilee to the Dead Sea. However, in recent years, this flow has dwindled dramatically, plummeting by over 90% to a mere 100 million cubic meters. This stark decline in Jordan's volume is not only a cause for concern in itself, but also holds dire implications for the Dead Sea. As the Jordan River shrinks, so too does the once mighty Dead Sea, its water level receding by a meter each year. At this alarming rate, the very existence of the world's saltiest large body of water hangs in the balance, teetering on the brink of oblivion. But the drying up of the Jordan River is not solely an environmental catastrophe. It carries profound historical and religious significance as well. Reflecting on biblical accounts, one is reminded of God's intervention, parting the waters of the Jordan for the Israelites, much akin to the miraculous crossing of the Red Sea with Moses. This divine act held immense significance for the Israelites, symbolizing God's providence and protection. Yet the drying up of the Jordan River today raises unsettling questions. Is this another manifestation of divine will, a continuation of God's miraculous intervention to save His people? Or is it a warning sign, a call to action amidst the burgeoning environmental crisis plaguing the region? Indeed, the challenges facing the Jordan River and its surrounding region are manifold. The small Middle Eastern nation, already grappling with aridity, faces escalating temperatures and a burgeoning population, exacerbating an already precarious situation. As we confront this modern-day crisis, we are compelled to reflect on the sacred history intertwined with these waters. Just as God once dried up the Jordan to deliver His people, so too must we heed the call to safeguard this precious resource and protect the land entrusted to us. What is hidden under Jordan River? The drying up of the Jordan River has unveiled a myriad of mysteries deeply intertwined with biblical narratives, serving as a compelling testament to divine will. Among the most renowned tales from the Bible is that of Moses and the Exodus of the Israelites, a narrative steeped in historical and theological significance. Exodus, the second book of the Bible, has long been a subject of scholarly scrutiny, with debates surrounding its historical accuracy and the veracity of claims regarding the migration of the ancient Israelites from Egypt. In a remarkable turn of events, a team of archaeologists has unearthed evidence that corroborates the biblical account of Moses, leading the Israelites out of Egyptian bondage and into the promised land of Canaan. Despite persistent skepticism regarding the historicity of Exodus, archaeologists Ralph K. Hawkins and David Ben Shlomo have identified ruins indicative of a nomadic settlement believed to align with the biblical narrative. These ruins, characterized by low stone walls resembling animal enclosures, offer tantalizing clues suggesting the presence of nomadic people traveling from Egypt. While definitive proof linking these settlements to the early Israelites remains elusive, the discovery fuels speculation that these sites may indeed correspond to the biblical narrative of Israelites traversing the Jordan River and settling in the hill country of Israel. The archaeological expedition extends beyond mere speculation, with plans underway to excavate nearby sites, such as Uja al-Mukarka, in pursuit of further evidence supporting the existence of Israelite settlements in the region. Such endeavors underscore the interdisciplinary nature of biblical scholarship, where historical research converges with archaeological inquiry to shed light on ancient narratives. This recent discovery is but one in a series of stunning revelations that have emerged from the region in recent years. In 2013, at Khirbet El Masari in the Jordan Valley, Hawkins and Ben Shlomo unearthed stone ruins and pottery fragments dating back to the Late Bronze Age, 1400 to 1200 BC, or the Iron Age, 1200 to 1000 BC. These findings provide invaluable insights into the material culture of ancient civilizations, offering a tangible connection to the distant past. Yet perhaps the most groundbreaking discovery in the region came with the unearthing of the Dead Sea Scrolls at Qumran. Prior to this discovery, scholars grappled with the scarcity of Hebrew manuscripts predating the 10th century AD. However, the Dead Sea Scrolls, dating back to the 2nd century BC, revolutionized our understanding of the Hebrew Bible, bridging a millennium-long gap in textual transmission. These ancient manuscripts, found within 11 caves at Qumran, contain copies of every book of the Old Testament except Esther, affirming the accuracy and reliability of the biblical texts. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls not only provided unprecedented access to ancient Hebrew manuscripts, but also shed light on ancient Jewish customs, such as the practice of Ganza, a tradition wherein worn-out sacred manuscripts were stored in earthen vessels and buried within caves. This practice, spanning from 48 BCE to 318 CE, underscores the reverence accorded to sacred texts within ancient Jewish communities, illuminating the cultural and religious milieu of the time. In sum, the drying up of the Jordan River has not only unraveled archaeological mysteries, but also reaffirmed the enduring relevance of biblical narratives. Through interdisciplinary collaboration and meticulous excavation, scholars continue to unearth clues that deepen our understanding of ancient civilizations and their cultural heritage. As we delve further into the depths of history, each discovery serves as a testament to the enduring legacy of the biblical narrative and its profound impact on the human experience. What has happened since the Jordan River dried up? The ramifications of a dried-up river reverberate across various sectors, particularly in the Middle East, where healthy waterways are vital for sustenance and economic activity. The Jordan River, in particular, plays a pivotal role in supporting crucial industries such as agriculture and tourism, and providing drinking water. In the agricultural sector, the Jordan River serves as a lifeline, facilitating irrigation for crops essential for local communities' survival. However, its diminishing flow poses a significant threat to crop growth and agricultural productivity. Moreover, the tourism industry, which thrives on religious sites along the river, faces a bleak future if Jordan's waters continue to dwindle. Pilgrims and visitors seeking to retrace Jesus' footsteps and partake in baptisms in the same river would find their experiences diminished, leading to a decline in tourism revenue. While Israeli residents have largely shifted to desalinated water from the Mediterranean Sea for drinking purposes, the loss of the Jordan River's flow would still have profound consequences. Despite technological advancements in water treatment, the river's ecological significance cannot be understated. It sustains a diverse array of life forms and ecosystems, playing an integral role in the region's environmental balance. In essence, the drying up of the Jordan River threatens not only economic stability, but also the very fabric of life in the region. Urgent measures are needed to address this crisis and ensure the preservation of this invaluable resource for generations to come.